And it's Ken Kreitzer for CamVets Media. We're in Amherst, Massachusetts, the University of Massachusetts. The Black Knights are going to play the Minutemen 12 noon game. And we have a chance to visit the Association of Graduates pregame tailgate for New England and talk with a former Army football player, class of 96, Jim Zopelis. And Jim, good to see you. What's it like to have the game finally arrive in your tailgate?
No, it's great to be here. 38 miles from my house. I wasn't going to miss this game on Thanksgiving weekend.
Very good. Now, tell us a little bit about your background. You played on some pretty good Army football teams. In fact, I saw you play one time against Notre Dame at the Meadowlands in '95, a memorable game. Tell us a little bit about your career in football at West Point.
Well, primarily a special teamer by trade, defensive back, a corner. Had a really good chance, made a lot of great relationships along those 4 great years that we had. 4 wins against Navy, probably our most exceptional part of the 4-year experience. But really, as our senior year was a springboard to our bowl campaign in the Independence Bowl. We had a pretty darn good team in 1995 football season, which really kind of created some momentum for the 96 season, eventually getting to the 1996 Independence Bowl playing Auburn.
Very good. Now, tell us, what was your West Point experience like academically and military training?
Well, trying to balance out the limited time that you have to study as a football player was pretty difficult. And some players like me maybe had to work a little bit harder than others on the team. But I think really is sticking together, going through tough times and adversity with your brothers is probably what allows us to be successful.
Very good. Now, tell us a little bit about your post West Point and the Army and after.
Had a chance to spend 20 years in the Air Defense Artillery, retired in 2016. Spent a wide range of assignments from El Paso, Texas to Germany, deployed a few times, but really loved the Army, had a great time. 20 years to take my children around the world and enable them some success, as all 3 of them are in college right now, and give them a chance to forge their path forward.
Very good. And is there a favorite moment in your service in the Army that stood out, or assignment?
I think all the assignments were good. Our family really embraced the Army, and I think to retire successfully, and what I mean successfully is to give a chance to my family to pursue their goals and not disrupt everything that they wanted to do. I think was the best part about the Army, was to be able to do both, serve and present my family an opportunity to do what they wanted to post-Army years.
Absolutely. No, my dad was a World War II Army officer and stayed in, and my 2 older sisters got time in a lot of U.S. bases, also in Germany in the early 1950s. Tell us a little bit about what was your career transition like? What do you do now?
My career transition, I was able to actually start corporate. I worked for Travelers in downtown Hartford. I stayed in the greater Hartford, Connecticut area. And then I found that I had so much experience in the government. I'm now currently working for a defense contracting firm as a director of business development for an IT and cyber development firm in Washington, D.C.
Wow, very good. So important, cyber protection. And tell us what you thought today. What do the Black Knights have to do? This Minuteman team is getting better as the season goes along. They'd love to win on their senior day, but as Army Center Connor Bishop said, if they play well today, that's the best way they can prepare for Navy.
I think if we can carbon copy what we did last week against Connecticut, no turnovers, no mistakes. I think the second half was really indicative of what this football team really is we controlled the ball, we made huge plays, forced turnovers. If we can do that this week, stay healthy, in 2 weeks we'll be highly successful against Navy.
Hey, that's great. Good to talk with you, Jim Zopelis, class of 96, here at the tailgate for the Association of Graduates up in Amherst before the Army UMASS game. Great to see you.
Great. Thanks, Ken, and beat Navy.
Okay, our pleasure. Ken Kreitzer for CamVets Media.